Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. Okay, today we're talking about mileage trackers. And I'm actually feeling, kind of derelict in my duties because I really thought I made a video about this earlier this year, but evidently not. Okay, so here we are. All right, so first thing, let's talk about the mileage deduction, okay? And let me get rid of a few things. First of all, the mileage is a tax deduction. It is not the government paying you to drive for your business. So I want to get that misnomer out of the way. The mileage deduction is probably the most expensive or like the highest paying deduction, for lack of a better term. So when Schedule C returns get audited, mileage is generally one of the first places they look, because that's some big bucks there. And it's usually the home business owner has not tracked their miles the way that they're supposed to. So that stuff gets tossed out the window. And also I want to say about business miles, business miles are just that. It's miles driven to perform something in your business, whether it's seeing a client, if you are traveling for business, something completely business related. It's not that you put a sticker on your car or you wrap your car or paint your car with your business advertisement. That does not make all of your miles tax deductible. It is the purpose of the trip that makes your miles tax deductible. So I still have people reaching out to me asking me, well, if I put this sticker on my car, if I put this magnet on my car, or if I get my car painted, does that make my miles deductible because that's advertising? And the answer to that is unequivocally no. The IRS has routinely disallowed that those miles. Okay, so just to let you know. All right. Oh, and the other thing is that for 2019, the mileage rate increased to 58 cents per mile for your deduction. So every time you drive for your business, you're getting to deduct 58 cents. So by not tracking your miles, you're leaving 58 cents a mile on the table. Okay, so you definitely want to track your miles. All right, so let's get down to these mileage trackers. All right, so the top ones for 2019. Now, and before I get there, I know all these caveats, right? I am not endorsing any one of these in particular, because the particular app that's going to work for you, or the particular method that's going to work for you, totally depends on your business. If you're a ride sharer, you may use a particular app because it's designed for ride sharers, or if you are, have a more traditional home business or traditional business period, you might use another. I just know what my clients are using and what people are using that's helpful. So there you go with that. Okay, so number one is pen and paper. Yes, pen and paper still works, you guys. If you are a home business owner that doesn't drive a lot of miles, pen and paper will work just fine. I'm a pen and paper girl because I really don't have a lot of business miles that I drive, because the majority of my work is virtual. So if you're really not driving a lot of miles, pen and paper will work for you just fine. You just need to keep a log of all of your miles, your business miles, from to the date and the purpose of the trip, and that will suffice just fine. And you keep that with your return when you file it, so that in the event that you are audited, you already have that log that's produced. So for me, just as an example, I might drive about 1,500 miles a year currently. So I don't need an app to track that. Okay. But so it really just depends on your business. But if you're not driving a lot of miles, pen and paper will work just fine. All right. Number two is Stride, Stride. Now, Stride is free as far as I know. And so, yeah, that's a new one that I had not heard of, but it's a free mileage tracker. So check it out and see if it works for you. But I do believe it's geared more towards rideshare drivers, but it's available. Number two is Hurdler, Hurdlr. No E in there. Hurdlr. Hurdlr. Hurdler will run you about $60 a year to track your miles. And if you are in business and you are paying for one of these mileage trackers, that is a tax deductible expense, okay? So Hurdler will run you about $60 a year. Then next is Mile IQ. Now I know a lot of my clients use Mile IQ. I have a cross between Mile IQ and the next one, QuickBooks Self-Employed, okay? But Mile IQ, same thing, about $60 a year. The next one is QuickBooks Self-Employed. Now, with the QuickBooks Self-Employed, I've heard, great reviews from my clients because they're able to track plenty of things, but there's not a whole lot of versatility with QuickBooks Self-Employed. The other thing about QuickBooks Self-Employed that just kind of rubs me the wrong way is when you outgrow QuickBooks Self-Employed, and then if you graduate to QuickBooks Online for your bookkeeping, you have to start a whole new separate account, and you can't transfer it over. So that's just one of those quirky things. But but being self-employed, if it's just you, completely viable option. And QuickBooks Self-Employed runs about $10 per month, okay? And then number 6 is TaxBot. Now, I like TaxBot because it was created by a tax attorney, and I have clients that use TaxBot as well, and their records are fire, and it makes my job hecka easy when it comes down to preparing their taxes. So yes, I can preach the gospel of TaxBot from the tax professional perspective. And TaxBot runs, I do believe it runs about $20 a month. Okay, so again, it really just depends on, what you're doing for your business and if that's going to work for you. And then last but not least is Everlance. Everlance is also going to run about $60 a year. And and when it comes down to all of these mileage tracking apps, they pretty much do the same things. Basically, you can snap pictures of your receipts, you track your miles, it runs in the background, and you just have to annotate whether it's business or personal. There are no apps that do not require some sort of human intervention. I've had people ask me, are there apps that just do it all? And the answer is no, because only you can determine whether or not that trip was business or personal. So you're going to have to do something and review those miles. But by and large, they all do the same thing. Like I said, you're able to photograph your receipts so that you don't have to, try to keep track of paper. But listen to me, okay? Even though you can snap receipts, I say keep the paper until you are absolutely sure that you don't need it, because it is a lot easier to produce paper than to try to produce paper and you don't have it, okay? If you already got it, it's great, okay? But a lot of them, you get to snap the receipt, scan it, and it saves a copy, and you have that for your records. So whether you keep the paper copy of your receipts or you keep the scanned copy of your receipts, you need to keep all the paper. Okay, you must have the receipts to substantiate your expenses for your business. Okay, and that's what makes it great. Scanning the receipts with one of these mileage apps is great, because when you get somewhere, you can sit in your car, you can scan that receipt in and keep it moving, instead of collecting a bunch of paper receipts and then doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So it really depends on the nature of your business. Like I said, someone like me doesn't have a lot of miles, doesn't have a whole bunch of, extra receipts and stuff. Pen and paper will work for you just fine. But if you're doing a lot of driving, I highly, highly recommend getting a mileage tracking app, because that is really going to help you be more efficient with tracking your miles. Because the fact is that if you miss tracking those miles, you're leaving money on the table. You are, really paying more in taxes than what you should. And mileage is a great way, to really help bring your profit amount down and what you're paying in taxes. Okay, let's just be real. All right. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that mileage deduction, and 58 cents a mile. So basically you drive 2 miles for your business, you're getting, to deduct a little bit over $1. And I don't know anywhere that I go that is, less than 5 miles away. So when you think about that and you do the math as it relates to your business, it starts to add up. Okay, like seriously. So yeah, but still, even though I've given you 7 ways to track your miles, there are lots of mileage apps out there. You really just have to try them to see which one works best for you, and then use that. Because even though there are some people who really drive a lot of miles, but they're just really pen and paper kind of people, and pen and paper is perfectly fine. It really is. So you don't have to invest in an app if that's not how you work mentally, right? And even if you are, you might be strapped for cash in the beginning, pen and paper works just fine until you build up your business, and then you can invest in a mileage tracker again if you're doing all of those, if you're driving a lot. Okay. So yeah, that's it. The main thing is to track thy miles. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what app you use. I don't care if you use a pen and paper. The fact is, what are you going to do? Make sure that you do it. That's the important part. Okay. So I hope that helps you out with tracking your mileage. Let's get her done. Okay. Because let me also say this, that when it comes down to the auditing part, because that's where this really counts. Having that mileage log available, that's what helps substantiate your miles. Okay. You can know that you went somewhere, but you need to have something to prove that you went somewhere. That is what these mileage logs are for, that you can annotate date, time, person, why you went there, whatever, so that you have a clear record of where you went and why for your business. And that is what's going to help you in an audit. There's nothing that anyone can do to say that you would never get audited. The only thing that we can do is really help you be prepared in the event that you get audited. And having these mileage records, that is a key to an audit defense. Is, hey, the IRS says, I want to see your records. You're like, here you go, and have a nice day. And be done. All right. So that's it for today's episode of Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time. All right. Bye.